Hello. Hello, I'm live. It's Wednesday. I'm live on a Wednesday. How's everybody going? How's everybody doing? How's everybody going? I'm going live. How is everybody doing? I just got my notification. Yay. And I'm only 2 minutes late. Hello. Anybody out there? Let me see if I shared it on my community tab yet. I don't know that I thought maybe I did already. I'm not sure if I did or not. Let me just go share it. Who's out there? Anybody out there? Hi, Bren. Thank you for being here. I'm live right now. How are you, Bren? How's your mom doing? Hi, Elsa. Hello. Welcome. I'm going to light the candle. I just went to the store and got a few groceries on faith. No. I'm going to start selling this neat stuff I got in the garbage on Facebook Marketplace. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Okay. How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? I'll play this. Red Kitty says hello. See my red kitty? I got bubbles. Just got back from mom's. She seems fine most of the time. Cook for her in hopes that she will put on some weight. Too thin. Yeah. Yeah, when I went to my sister-in-law's, when I went to my brother's, my sister-in-law was very thin. She was in the final stages of cancer. I want to say she was, wait, let me figure it out. She was born in 52. So she was 68. Yeah. And yeah, she was very thin. And she was so funny. She'd say things, oh, you can't leave until I gain 10 pounds. And I was like, I'm not going anywhere. I was like, then when I got to California in 2020 in my RV, I was like, I'm moving here. I'm moving to I was going to look for a place in San Diego, but San Diego's too expensive anyways. And then, hey, Brenda. And then, my sister, how are you, Brenda? My sister-in-law passed away in early January 2021. And I hadn't really gone anywhere yet in my RV. So then I was kind of afraid, and then I was kind of like, felt like I was making sure my brother was okay. And then I went to St. Louis for a month to doggy sit for my friend in St. Louis. I went for a month and came back. And while I was there, I started going live. When I was in St. Louis in 2021 and I left my RV at my brother's property, that's when I really got going on YouTube and got involved with that clique and group. That it was fun while it lasted. I was on the dating game with Van Vita Travels. It was funny. And then right after that, but I was in that whole clique. And so that's how all those things started. It was fun while it lasted. I've been thinking lately about how something bad happens, but God brings something good out of it. So that's what I like. That's what's cool about God. That's what I think. Anyways, that's my opinion. But yeah, I went to got my bubble bath. I love this stuff. And some lotion. I went to Target. I got some Dave's bread. It's supposed to be really good bread. It tastes really good. You ever try this? Do you eat this bread? This bread is good. This is really good bread. Oh, you're in Klamath Falls. Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, I went by there. I like Klamath, California better. I love it where the river goes in to the ocean. Oh, and I decided I'll share some, maybe let me try. I can share some videos in the chat. Oh, maybe I'll just share them on my community tab while we're chatting. Let me see. So if you go to like videos, like at the top of my channel, and you can go to videos and then you can click on popular, and then all the popular videos will come up, which is pretty cool. Where the Klamath River meets the sea. So lovely. So when I left my brother's in April 2021, I headed north, and that's where I ended up at the Klamath River RV Park. Let you move to another room. Oh, I'm freezing up. I'm sorry. Klamath, California. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I had phone calls dropped. I had stuff to do today. I have to take my RAV in to Toyota to get my oil changed, and I think my tire rotation. One or the other. I think the oil change is what's next. And I tried to call, so maybe I can get out of paying it. That would be nice. But I got a parking ticket at the beach in California at the Switchfoot Getaway, right? And I lost it. And it was $58 parking ticket because I didn't get a little thing, a little doodad at the little okay, you're not having any issues, Brenda? Okay, that's good to know. So yeah, I lost this ticket. I found it. Tom. So there was a lovely couple I met at Switchfoot Getaway, Tom and Kathy, and Tom's a pastor in Indiana. I think it's Indiana. And good to hear. Thanks, Brenda. Are you still there, Elsa? Can you hear me? So, and Kathy is got MS. She's in a wheelchair, but the sweetest people. And so they were paying a lot, and I realized their hotel was by mine. They were paying a lot for Ubering around, and the beach thing, the beach day and beach night was like an hour away. So I gave them a ride that night, and Tom found the ticket on my windshield. I was like, no. And so I put it in my car, like in your little cubby in their car. But when I got home, I couldn't find it. So I tried to go online today and put in my license plate and the state and try to look up my ticket, but I couldn't find it. So that's good. Good. I'm not having any issues here. So let me see. I am. That looks like a snowflake. Is that a snowflake? It's been cool here because it's a little rainy. It doesn't get too hot here anyways, but yeah, it's 77 here, which is nice. Very nice. Okay, I know the poem I want to say for you. Okay. A lot of my poetry, it has lines from songs. And this poem I'm going to say now is called The Haunting, and it has a line from a hymn. So after I say it, you have to See if you know what hymn it is, what line it is that is from a hymn, and what hymn. Okay? It's called A Haunting, and it's in the Seven-Story Tree, and it was inspired by Oswald Chambers, which is another devotional my mom loved, My Utmost First Highest. And he says that let me see if I can just read the exact quote because I can't remember exactly. So it's called The Haunting. Let me see what page it's on. It's on page 23. Okay. It's on page 23. It's also inspired by Psalm 139, where it says, God is with you wherever you go. If I make my bed in hell, behold, you are there. That means death. If I die, you're there. How am I coming in now, Elsa? Or did you lose me completely? Are you still here? It says for watching. Thank you all for being here. So this poem was inspired by the classic devotional by Oswald Chambers, My Utmost First Highest. Oswald asks the piercing question, what are you haunted by? And states that we should be haunted by God. I could just run away, try to live my way another day, but what would be the use? Wasted time, a wasted life. But then again, I could give it all to him and he transforms it. If I move to the left or to the right, you're halfway there, perhaps not quite. I hear him all the time. I open my eyes and he lights up the sky. In a song, I see him. In a tree, he's there. What is this love he has for me? Wherever I go, to a movie or a show, there isn't a thought he doesn't know. He is the great I am, and yet he is my friend. It's too wonderful to comprehend. He'll always be there till the end. When we've been there 10,000 years, his voice will echo in my ears. Still his praises I will sing. Always and forever, he is my king. Okay. Seems clear from the glitch now. Okay, good. That's good. So anybody know what the line was from the hymn? A very popular hymn. Very popular old hymn. Did anybody recognize the line from the hymn? I once said that poem for my dad and my stepmother, and my stepmother knew immediately the line from the hymn because she plays piano at the church. I don't know if she still does, but she might. But she's about 12 years younger than my dad, so that would make her. Oh, he was 92 when he passed in 2020. So she was 80. So she must be 84 now. But she was in pretty good shape for her age. I don't know if she still plays the piano or not, but she recognized the line from the hymn right away. And I didn't go see the falls. I drove through Klamath Falls, Oregon, but I didn't go see the falls. I had been at Alsea Falls. That was I kind of call it my second meetup because my first meetup was in the Alabama hills with two bigger YouTubers. So does anybody know? When we've been there 10,000 years is from Amazing Grace. It's like the fourth stanza or something, I think, which you don't always sing in church. So I guess a lot of people don't know that one. Because a lot of times you only sing like the first two stanzas. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. I played it on my flute at my mom's memorial. So, what else? Guess what I saw on when we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. That's how it goes. Yep. So I saw something on. I saw something cute on. I saw something cute on the new platform. Like we needed a new platform, right? Threads. I saw something cute on Threads. And it was this lady, Deborah Hireland Official. I don't know who she is, but she got married at 60. Never give up on love. Me and my husband on our wedding day, I never dreamed I'd be getting married at 60. You are never too old for fairy tales. I was like, okay, that's cool. That's nice. I might be ready. I might be ready in two years. I'll be 60 in 2 years because I'll be 58 in October. So in 2 more years, I'll be 60. It's Amazing Grace. That's Amazing Grace. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. Oh, here's one I don't think I've ever read on here. Let me read it. There's nothing to fear but fear itself. Remember that one from FDR? I put the verse, but as for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good in order to bring it about as it is this day to save many people alive. Genesis 50:20. That was Joseph talking to his brothers about, they sold him into slavery, and then he spent all those years in Egypt, but then he ended up he was in prison. He was put in prison unjustly, and then he ended up being the head of the prison, and then he interpreted a dream, and then finally the person forgot to put in a good word for him, but then they remembered because the king had a dream and he needed it interpreted, and then he interpreted the Pharaoh's dream, and then had the plan for them to save up from the 7 years of famine. And yeah, it's just a cool story in Genesis. And then he is reunited with his brothers because they come to Egypt for food so they don't starve. Because of Joseph, Egypt's the only place that has food. But anyways, there's nothing to fear but fear itself. I'm a mess, really, but God takes my elephant and uses it for my benefit. See, my mess becomes my message. Addiction, dysfunction, depression, my test is my testimony. Keep grasping at straws, which that was about the lady at church that kicked me out of Celebrate Recovery. My king's spinning it to gold. Now I know who I am. I stand up to Satan, resist him. The wicked one flees when no one pursues him. God uses the weak to confound the wise. I no longer fall for the enemy's lies. Well, I sometimes do. I fell for some lies after this, after I wrote that. I did. But I'm falling for less lies, let's say that. I no longer fall for the enemy's lies. My king loves me. I will honor him. What's your monster? Open up that closet. Go ahead and face it. Can you place it? The ringmaster tames the monsters and the lions. He makes them new and bold, and everything the king touches turns to gold. Yeah, that's why my mom put me in green all the time. And I almost wore the green dress again, but I was like, wait, I wore this Monday night. I have to wear a different dress. So I got this one out. Yeah, now I got bubbles on it. You going in wonky circles? I'm sorry, Elsa. I'm sorry. So I listened to a great message today, and it was so, you guys ever listen to something and it speaks like right to you? I mean, like even like little memes, like sometimes I'll see little memes and stuff, but this was a message by Joel Osteen called Leave It Alone. And I was like, well, I needed to hear that, because I'm always like wanting to do something and wanting to, rush in. Joyce Meyer often says there's the little devil on your shoulder that says, what are you going to do? 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 Nothing. I'm going to be still and know that he is God. Exodus 14:14 says, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. It's right before Moses parts the Red Sea, and then they go through because they're like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? They're coming. The Egyptians were coming, and they just had to go through. And then when they got to the other side, and then the Red Sea drowned the Egyptians. And so, yeah. So it was a really good message, and I posted it on my community tab. Oh, you recognized it. Okay, cool. Yeah, there's a lot. There's lines from lots of things. Okay. Here is Fishing with Fire. This has lines from songs about fire, and there's lots of songs about fire. You know that? And it starts with a line from a woman historian. I think her name was Thacker. Fishing with Fire. Well-behaved women seldom make history. That's a quote from a woman historian. So perhaps there's hope for me. I may be a bitch, but at least I'm honest. But really, some don't see that part of me at all. Like a moth to the flame, I'm drawn to people who push me to the limit. Even the nicest people have theirs. Why does that man call you Subi? She said to me. I don't know. Must be because she's sweet, he said. He didn't know me very well, but you catch more flies with honey. The Pharisees don't catch many with their vinegar. Don't let yourself get bitter, or Satan blow out that light. Those flies and fish will never bite until you have the bait that's right. Do you have something they'll long for? I smile because I'm happy. Jesus delivered me. Peace, joy, love, security, confidence, fearlessness, purity. More heart, less attack. That's from a Need to Breathe song. Do you have the thing they lack? More of him, less of me. Do you have a story? Tell it. Do you have a match? Strike it. Walk through the fire, burn away the darkness, ignite a soul, set the world on fire. Let it burn, 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 let it burn, 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 burn. Joel Osteen from Houston, yes. I always want to put an L in his name too. There's no L in it. Osteen. Yeah. Here's a poem that's short. Hashtag mom. I put an Abraham Lincoln quote in front of this one. I remember my mother's prayers, and they have always followed me. They have clung to me all my life. Abraham Lincoln. Mom, I love you. I cook for you. I wash and dry for you. I pray every day for you. I cry for you. I buy for you. I die for you. I take a grenade for you. Jump in front of a train for you. I stay for you. But I did realize, though, I had my children like as gods. I mean, I was people pleasing, but especially them. I was like, I had them even above God, and that was bad. And that was bad for me. Bad, bad for me. Caused me a lot of pain. Um, I need to look in the new poems. These are my old poems, and then Red Poems is my new book of poetry. So let me dig into that. Let me dig into that. Which is on my computer here. So, what do you think of the Wednesday Night Live? 6. Oh, I wrote one. I really love that movie, Risen. And I wrote a little poem about it. Did you ever see that movie, Risen? If you haven't watched that movie, it's really good. It's much better than The Chosen. I'm really not liking The Chosen because of so many discrepancies and inconsistencies, and not. I'm just really kind of upset with Dallas and The Chosen right now, but I'm undecided on whether I'm going to continue watching the rest. It just makes me mad. It just makes me mad. And there were things before this and now, oh my goodness. But Risen is a good movie. And I wrote this little poem. Risen. Jesus is risen. He is risen indeed. The Roman believes. What is it you seek? A day without death? He eats, he teaches, he heals, he sleeps, he dies, he lives again. This changes everything. Clavius looks for a corpse he'll never find. Jesus gives joy. Where are his followers? We're everywhere. That's what I think it's Bartimaeus says in the movie. Jesus is risen. He is risen indeed. Blessed are those who do not see, and yet believe. And he said, no, I will be with you always, even to the end of the age. Yeah, I read this one on there already. Oh, I want to read you one from here, another one from here. So, there's one in here. I'm happy for my progress that I've made in the past 10 years. So it's been 10 years since I separated from my husband in 2014. And then for 2 years, we lived in the house together. And then I moved out of his house in 2016. And then it was 2 more years, and we weren't divorced until 2018. Our divorce took 4.5 years. And then in 2020 is when I sold the house, left Georgia, paid off my debt, and paid cash for an RV. So yeah. But I want to read you a poem called Dark Horses. Let me read it. So I have a little video on my channel about limerence. And that's what happened with this YouTuber. And I got into that YouTube community, and like that's what caused like all my problems. Time to pray. Dear Lord, thank you for all these YouTube followers and subscribers. I pray that you would bless them and their families, Lord. Thank you for our children, Lord, and our grandchildren. And I pray that you would bless them and watch over them and be with them. And I pray that they would know that we love them and that you love them, Lord. And I pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen. So, like, as I was saying, I think I finally learned. I used to watch Crappy Childhood Fairy, and she's okay. She's not my favorite anymore, but I used to watch her a lot, and that's where I learned that word, limerence. And I was like, that is what my problem has been. I'm getting like obsessed with these people, and it ended up they would usually be narcissists. And so, and it was like right after my husband and I separated, this Christian band came in concert. There's never any concerts in Byron, Georgia, but they were in Byron, Georgia. It was insane, but they were in Byron, Georgia. Not a very big concert, but this Christian band, and the singer, yeah, I don't know how much am I going to tell you. Audio Adrenaline. It was Audio Adrenaline. And I met the singer, and he had been in another band, and he basically made a pass at me, and then I found out he was married. But I was like, maybe he's in an unhappy marriage like me. I don't know. But anyways, so I got in limerence like right away right after splitting up with my husband. So, but anyways, and I actually wrote this poem about him. But you can't tell. It's just a poem. And it has a line from The Magician's Nephew by C.S. Lewis, which is let me share with you the quote. I usually share the quote. So I want to read it to you exactly and then show you. When I do this, I don't put it exactly because I try to not. I'm putting it so you'll recognize it, but I'm hoping, I don't want to get in trouble. Make your choice, adventurous stranger. This is the actual quote from The Magician's Nephew. Make your choice, adventurous stranger. Strike the bell and bide the danger. Or wonder till it drives you mad. What would have followed if you had? Hey, Glenn. Yes, I had a pretty good day. How are you doing? How hot is it today? Is that what we're talking about all the time? How hot is it today? So this one's called Dark Horses. Strike the bell, adventurous stranger. That's the part. Pretend that you don't see the danger. So you want to play with magic? Break my heart and I'll break yours. We'll match. Strike it. Walk through the fire. You won't be burned. He promised. This love will make you levitate, defying gravity. You radiate a powerful presence like an overwhelming being. Take me to the ocean. I want to go deeper. That was from Audio Jones song. I was afraid. Then I saw your face. Now I'm a believer. Recognize that one? Then I saw your face. Now I'm a believer. But the believer also was an Audio Jones song. So that says, take me to the ocean. It's about Peter walking on the water. That's what it's actually about, that song. Yeah, it always cools off. That's what I was just saying. It always cools off with the rain. But so I also have, let's see, I have on my, I said I was going to share on my community tab and share in the chat some videos if you want to watch them later. But if you go to them now, and probably, yeah, unless you're on a computer. No, I think even if you're on a computer, you go to them later, because when you put a link to a video, it takes you out of my live. So there's a poem in the 7-Story Tree, another poem. Yeah, here it is. That was, I'll read it for you. Yeah, that was the Monkees. Then I saw your face. Now I'm a believer. But also the name of the Audio Drone song is Believer. Here's a King and Crown poem. But I'm going to say it for you. I pretty much have it memorized, but I haven't said it in a while. So I'm going to probably look at the thing. I'm saying this in my house in Georgia, the house that I sold. I think it was 2020. I'm going to do a playlist too. I am going to do another playlist. I have a lives playlist, and I have playlists, but they're by no means exhausted. I have over 1,000 videos, you guys. So that should help me to get my watch time, right? I had my hair in a funky way then. But anyways, okay. There we go. Oh, you know what? I forgot. Glenn, you sent me your address. I can send you one of these. So I was trying to, I don't know why I was having a problem finding my messages in my PayPal. I don't know why, but I'm glad I'm reminded of that. I need to write it down. Right. I have a list. And I made an appointment for my car to get oil changed. Yeah, the interview with Sam. Yeah, I did mail that. Paper Crane of Hope. I found her on Instagram, and then she started doing on YouTube. Yeah, that live was from 2021, I think. So the King and Crown poem is about this singer I met. But and I got the Crown poem. They were on the Kings and Queens tour, Audio Adrenaline. But I got this crown tattoo for Psalm 45:11. So the king will greatly desire your beauty because he is your Lord. Worship him. That's the verse I have. Did you miss anything? You missed a couple of poems. You can go back and watch. I'm trying to say a bunch of poems. I'm not counting though. I didn't count. I could have said, I was thinking of doing that thing where I have you guys guess how many poems can I say? How many poems can I say in an hour? But, well, it might go 2 hours. It's almost an hour already, 47 minutes. So I'm going to say the King and Crown poem. This is about the singer I met. But, yeah. I had to get over it. King and Crown. Poet, rocker, movie star. I know exactly who you are. I Google you and a million pics pop up. After 10 minutes, do you think that you know me? I am much more than what you see. What is it that you seek? For I am not your average Jesus freak. That's one of his songs from when he was in another band. Perhaps you see the fear and longing in my eyes, but I am so tired of lies. Yes, there's a ring on my finger. It was right after our separation, so I still have my ring on my finger. This is my mom's ring, by the way. This is my mom's 50th anniversary ring. Yes, there's a ring on my finger, yet my heart is cold. Sometimes I feel fat and old. Bad boy, believer, philanderer. But I am no better than you. We are just the same, we two. Sinners saved by simple grace. Do you want to see me again? This is what he said. Then I found out he was married. How can you see me again when you missed me the first time? It seemed like you knew me, but you looked right through me. That's from the song Magic Man. He's a Magic Man by Heart. It's all my fault, of course. My daughters know I'm a bad dresser, forever the second guesser. I shouldn't hug strangers. I didn't see the danger until you said, I'll see you later. I felt the light touch on my back. Don't dwell on all the things you lack. Could this be a satanic attack? The chills go down my spine. I hear the hubby say, you are mine. I was like a possession to him. There's tension in the air. I want to walk you to your bus. I hear the dark-haired one again. What about us? I'm through with you. If you had come, I wouldn't be hanging here on this cliff. He goes, 5 minutes. Well, this is 2 minutes from our house. I mean, you could have gone to the concert with me. My daughter met me there, actually. I'm through with you. If you had come, I wouldn't be hanging here on this cliff. I'm listening to him saying he wants to see me again. That voice. Oh my gosh. He has a great singing voice too. Oh my God, help. Come on, Susan, make a choice. The right one. Wake up. That's his voice saying, remember me. King and crown one day we'll meet. Don't let what the womanizer says go to your head. He just wants you in his bed. This man's a mess. A hot mess, just like you. But the king desires my beautiful heart. He delivers me, will never part. The princess is all glorious within. This is from Psalm 45. The princess is all glorious within. She doesn't want to sin. She only wants to honor him. I'll worship my king forever. I'll sing. My heart overflows with this theme. Again, that's from Psalm 45. So to you, I'll say goodbye. Jesus loves both you and me. Surrender all to him and you'll see. He makes us all royalty. And I am still a fan of you, just not what you do. Most importantly, he is too. But yeah, that's all a play on King and Crown. It was the Kings and Queens tour. That was when I met him. My niece called me, talk about hot. Where is she at? It's really hot there. Flames. This is my tea. I didn't get any of my diet. I want to get the cheap diet soda at King Soopers, so I didn't get any soda at Target. So this is my tea. So in SoCal. Yeah. Which, like, if you're inland, it can be really hot. Like, gosh, when I went to California in 2018, which ended up being the last time I saw my dad and my brother Christopher, because my brother Christopher died in December 2018, and then my dad passed away in 2020. So it was July, and I was in Santa Clarita, and it was like 114. But if you drive for an hour to the beach and go to Ventura, it'll be like 80 degrees, 85 degrees maybe at the most. So it depends on where you are in SoCal. And you can be in you can go in the desert, or you can go. I saw this cabin. I was like, oh my goodness. It was before I got the money from my dad, but I almost wanted to buy this. I saw this cabin on a hill, you guys, and it's somewhere. It said it was in it was like so different, like San Diego County, right? So when I went to Julian for the Glorious Life on Wheels meetup, that was in San Diego County, and it was so hot during the day there. But if you go by the ocean, it's cool. And this was a mountain that I guess was in San Diego County. I should look it up. What was it? But it sold, of course. It was a little cabin, and it wasn't that much either. And it was in San Diego County, and it was on a mountain, and there were pictures with snow. This is in Southern California, but it was on a mountain. And I was like, oh my goodness, I want to buy this, And I took it almost as a sign that was like built. It was a little teeny house though. It was a teeny tiny house. I mean, it wasn't like a tiny house like they make now, but it was built in 1928, and that's the year my dad was born. And I was like, oh, I need to buy this house. But there was a lot of delays with my dad, the money from my dad, because of a few things. But a will is not the best thing. What you need is a living trust. Write that down. Write that down. Living trust. Because then the assets go right away to who you leave it to. But with a lawyer, it costs more money to do that. I eventually want to do that. Off the 395 north of LA. Which one is the 395? I was just out there. I should know this. 395. What else is it by? Is the 395 run north-south? $557-mile highway in California that runs from Hesperia to Oregon. Okay. Oh, that's the way we go to Yosemite. See, that's why I was a little kid then. I don't know that. No, I did drive there myself once, didn't I? My girls were, gosh, how old were they? 3 and 7. I saw my brother in 2004 when I was out in California. And it was Wonderhouse's favorite highway. I didn't know that. Crazy how elevation changed the weather so much. Yeah. Yeah. Camp host job in Colorado, and it's like 40s in the morning. Yeah. It might be that in it might be that in Grand Junction. But here, yeah, it's been down in the 50s. Like today, the low was 59. Tomorrow, the low will be 58. Low of 53 Monday and Tuesday next week. $76 now. But yeah. Yeah, and Flagstaff, they get more snow and stuff. It's a higher elevation than Denver. Like Denver, it's 5,000. So the 5,000 feet, and it's, yeah. That's why it's so cold. And in Flagstaff, it's higher elevation. Lindy was saying it was like in the 50s. Yeah, in the 50s in the morning there. So north of Riverside. Okay. Yeah, it was 114. Remember that. It was 114 when I was at my brother's in 2018. And it was 114 when I was driving through Texas. I drove all the way. It's like a straight shot because it was like a straight shot to where I was in Middle Georgia to San Diego. And I drove, and I was doing Airbnb at the time, and I had a friend watching my Airbnb. And it was when Gladys was staying in my You're Truly Tired of Texas. I hope I can move. Yeah, and other people are moving there just because it's cheap, you know. So yeah, you've been there all your life, though. That's a long time. Yeah, that's why I don't want to go. Although I've been I try to stay open-minded. I was like, would it be beneficial are helpful or something for me to live in Georgia, because I have a situation with a family member right now. But I don't think so. I don't think I will be moving back to Georgia. I could go there for, I like it. I feel like, yeah, I've been thinking again, and I just like came to this conclusion, you guys. I was like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have gotten that job, because my daughter was having her baby like right when I started the job, when I was training for the job, and then I wasn't able to go there when she had the baby. But she has, a lot of family there and stuff. But I was sad again to not be able to be there when my grandbaby was born, because my mom was there when each of my 4 older children were born, but then she wasn't able to. She had a health condition. She had a pulmonary embolism, and was on oxygen when my youngest was born in 2001. But she did have my dad drive her all the way across the country in October of 2001, and they came to see us. But so yeah. It's not cheaper. Well, there's no state taxes though. That makes a big difference. Everything's going up everywhere, but as far as like comparing to, I guess anywhere, comparing to California or Colorado, it's cheaper. Texas is not cheap. Cheaper. Nice places around Georgia. You don't have to stay there. Yeah, I really probably want to I think I'm gonna either stay here or go to Philly area by my daughter. That's what I think. But I still have 6 months to decide. Mm-hmm. Hi, Judy. Hi, welcome. Yeah, we're at an hour. I have to think. I have to find some more poems to say. Try to go another hour, because people do start coming in, like when it's been an hour, and so like I've been going 2 hours, and I feel like the lives where I'm going longer are doing better. Hey, AS Blind Made Production. Oh, you're in Colorado too. Cool. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I'll say some more poems. Let me say one of my favorite poems, probably this and the elephant poem are my favorite poems. But my favorite poem, and it's kind of become the theme of my channel because it's really about prayer. Yeah. Glenn, he's in Texas also. Yeah, Glenn from Lindy's. Who gives out the memberships. We really appreciate Glenn's support. Yeah, I'm in Denver. I'm south of Denver. I don't like to say exactly where I am, but I'm in the Denver area. Yeah. I found another. I'm going to meet up with Darcy. Oh, that's right. I need to talk to her about when, because that's tomorrow. Yeah. I got my appointment for my car on Friday. Yeah, I'm supposed to have lunch with I need to message Darcy. Oh. Okay, I need to check those out. I've been here 2 years. I just went to the zoo. I go to the Sanctuary, Denver. I go to church in downtown Denver, but I'm a little ways. Like 25 minutes from church. It's not too bad, really. Um, yeah, I'm in the. Yeah, I ended up Darcy and I were in the same place, so we were gonna go get lunch. I'm glad I remembered that though. Yeah, you can say a general area. You don't have to say exactly. Um, oh, okay. I'm going to the sanctuary in Denver. I'm So I'm gonna set this before I forget. I'm gonna set my alarm um, tomorrow to meet. Thursday, yeah. To meet Darcy for lunch. I think at 1. Okay. You're born in San Antonio. Okay. My youngest is in San Antonio. I think. I'm pretty sure she is. I'm not in touch with her, but I hope to get in touch with her again. I hope. But she's in the Air Force and she was in San Antonio. Yes. I need to say another poem. Let me find one. Let me say the title poem. I haven't said that in a while. The title poem from Red Poems, which is called Call Me Red. Okay, here we go. Call me red. We're always in it. I see it. I face it. I put it on. Scarlet or vermilion or bluish red crimson. Old ladies with hats are winsome. Valentine's, Christmas, cars, leaves of fall, team colors. It symbolizes blood and courage. Come now, let us reason together, says the Lord. Though your sins are like scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though they are red like crimson, they shall be as wool. Esau was red, and so was his stew. God didn't choose him, but he chose you. The sea was red, the Israelites went through. I said I didn't love you, but I lied. I thought you knew. I couldn't have put up with all that crap we went through without his love, which ran red. Your cold-hearted rejection cut like a knife. My blood ran red. So I wanted to hurt you too. Why don't we remember the good times? You always focus on the bad. Never speak life to me. So sad. Left me starving for attention and affection. Does anyone think I'm good or fair? I won't live in regret. We were all meant to be. 5 beautiful children, don't you see? The thought of losing you could leave me so brutally blue. But no, just as Taylor said, loving you was riotously red. And that, of course, is from the Taylor Swift song. Also, At the Cross by Chris Tomlin, that was inspired that. So, where were we going to eat? Let me ask her. Where were we going to eat? I'm asking Darcy where we were going to eat. You lost power from the storms. You were cowering in your safe room with your fur baby. Oh, yeah. I think so. Lisa Outdoor Dash Travels said her electricity was out for 5 days. Oh, you guys, I found the sermon. That's awesome. Oh, wow. I found the sermon from the sanctuary on Sunday. It was so good. I'm going to share this. I'm going to drop it in the chat. Message from the sanctuary, Denver. It's on my pastor's it's called Don't Lose Your Marbles. So I'm going to put that in the chat. Yeah, you get a lot of tornadoes. Wow, yeah. This message was so good. Like I said about that message today was for me too. The message on Sunday was just was really, really encouraging to me. It's a movie. It was from the movie Hook too, which is a movie that my older kids. I'm generally having issues with my older kids, not my younger kids, but my youngest is not. We're not in contact right now, but I'm hoping that will change. Okay, I'm posting this. It was Angie Dancer that gave them message, and it was just so good and so encouraging to me. From Sunday at this was so encouraging to me. I wanted to look it up and see if it was on there. I thought it would be. So if you want to listen to it, I put it in the chat and I put it on my community tab. And I put the Joel Osteen one too. It was called Leave It Alone. You guys, it's like, when I was a kid, I used to get like mosquito bites and then especially when we moved to Florida, my dog got my house got, and dog used to come in my room and she got fleas so bad in Florida. My dog, Penny, she was a German short-haired pointer. She was cute when I was 12. And I would get bit up and I would scratch and then like it'd make a little scab and like my mom would be like, leave it alone. Don't. You're going to get a scar. And I mean, that's like so me. I can't leave it alone and get a pick at it, And it's the same with, the situation is just like, what can I do this? Can I do this? Can I talk to them? And so I was just like crying when I was listening to this message today, you guys. It was just so good. And, it was just leave it alone. Pray, leave it alone. Because you can't make a person, you can't make a grown person do what you think they should do. You can't be manipulative. You can't control them. You can with all your heart say, wish for them to do the right thing, but they that's it. So you grew up in Oklahoma. It's pretty much the same as Texas, but with less friendly people. Unless you live in the southeast part near Broken Bow. I recently watched the movie about the pastor from Oklahoma. It's called Come Sunday. The pastor that changed his view and he got called. It's the same thing that happened to Peter Hyatt, my pastor at the sanctuary, got called a heretic because they didn't believe in hell, and he started a different church in Oklahoma. His name was Carlton Pearson. But let me share with you my pastors. My new pastors channel. And that's where the Marbles message is, because he was out of town on Sunday. Okie dokie. 1 hour and 19 minutes. Earthquakes and fires in Southern California. What was it? The earthquake in the San Fernando Valley in 1970. So 1971. Hey, Linda. Hello. She's not currently in Texas. We were talking about Texas. She's in Massachusetts. Oh, wow. It's nice up there, I bet. My grandmother has I still have cousins. I have second cousins up there. I'd like to go up there. So many fires everywhere, huh? Wow. Thank you for being here, Linda. I need to say another poem. I know which one I'll say. I would have to go back now since I'm not counting. I'd have to go back and see how many poems I said actually. Yeah. Yep. I remember it vaguely. I remember the aftershocks. I slept through the actual earthquake. I mean, I think I probably woke up as it was ending. It was scary. I was like only 4. My friend down the street, who she ended up being my best friend, Louise, said her fish tank was like sloshing, and she was younger than me, so she was a year younger than me. So she must have been like 3. She was trying to get her fish and put them back in that fish tank. Oh my goodness. I remember the door like rumbling like that. And I couldn't find anybody. That was scary, that everybody was like gone. I was in bed. I remember that. But I got up and couldn't find anybody, which was weird because, I'm the youngest of 7. So there was a bunch of people living in the house. I was like, where is everybody? Like, this is creepy. and why is the door rattling? Like, because there were aftershocks and the door was rattling. Like, okay. I have a video. I'll share that one too, because I'm trying to share videos for y'all to watch. I need watch time. I'm going to work on my what's it called? Playlist. I'm going to work on my playlist and put my things in, put all my videos in a playlist. So it's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. So I went through my old neighborhood when I was growing up. Lackland. Where's Lackland? She's in San Antonio. Is that the one in San Antonio? I'm talking about California. Oh, Oklahoma does. Oh, okay. Oh. Yeah, so there was an earthquake recently in Philly, and I texted my daughter and asked, "Did you feel that?" And she said, "Oh, I thought it was an airplane going over here." She didn't really notice that it wasn't that strong. She thought it was something else. Yeah, so I guess that is the one she's at. I think, unless she's moved, I don't know. She might have came to Denver and not told me. Brat. I will find it. No, Claire and Ian usually keep me informed on what the ones that aren't talking to me are doing. So that's nice. And even Albert too. Albert tells me what's going on because he sees things on Facebook. So my old neighborhood in California. So I did a little video, and I looked up my house, my old house, on Zillow, it was $1.4 million. And my mom's house was $1 million in Aurora Grande, California. I was like, wow. I wish. So it's called It's a Beautiful Day in This Neighborhood. A beautiful day for a neighbor. That's another thing Angie Dancer had us sing the Mr. Rogers song. It's you I like. And that was funny because I did this one and I called it It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood because it's my old neighborhood from when I was a kid. Los Angeles. So yeah. So I'm hoping to my watch time is going to start going up again. Hey Betty. Hi. Thank you for being here. I see people coming in late, so I'm gonna go till 7:30. Okay. I'm going to say my love poem now. Oh, I'm not supposed to say that. It's called That 4-Letter Word. I don't actually say the word in the poem. It's called That 4-Letter Word, and this was inspired by the Ed Sheeran song Photograph, actually. And if you pay attention, you'll probably catch the line. There's also a line from DC Talk Song. That's what love is. Wait, what's it called? Let me see. That's what love feels like. One of the inspirations. And let me get going. That I'm sharing the link to that song. Let me say the poem. It's never in vain. This poem's called That 4-Letter Word. It's never in vain, it all matters. No matter how small an act, a kind word, a smile, a hug, a cup of cold water. I have it in a photograph, a letter, a scrap of paper, a meal, a memory, a bowl of chili, chicken salad, peach ice cream, and red velvet cupcakes. Can you tell how I love with food? Chocolate and roses. It speaks your language. It's a gift, a movie, a lightsaber, a new hope. It's a verb, it's a noun, it's an adjective, it's profound, it's encouragement and motivation. It's harder than you thought, yet it makes everything easier. Like E.T., it phones home. It's more wonderful than you knew and worth everything you put in. It hangs on, it never quits, even if you let go of it. It can hurt sometimes, it can't stay mad. It works and tries, it bleeds and cries and doesn't lie. It apologizes, gives, and forgives. It's the only thing we take with us when we die. Yet it makes us feel alive. It always hopes, believes, trusts. It never fails. And even if you're away a while, it waits for you to come home. That one's on my. I'm not going to Facebook, but that's okay. Oh, the Shadow Hills area is about 20 miles from where I am. Yeah. And we went to Shadow Hills, and I went to preschool at Shadow Hills Presbyterian Church on Sunland Boulevard. My brother Paul bought a house on Sunland Boulevard when he was like 19 years old. So, and when my parents took my brother and I across the country and we moved to Boca Raton, it took my youngest brother, who was 15, I was 12, and he was 15 in 1979. We moved to Boca Raton, Florida. And then my sister moved out and moved into the house Paul bought on Sunland Boulevard with Chris and Paul, my brothers. And Tim and Mark lived somewhere else. I don't know where. But yeah. So yeah, and I used to horseback ride, and I broke my leg on my friend's horse in '78 at Christmas. And yeah, my parents were just getting ready to move, and my leg was just healing up when we moved to Boca. I know I got my mom like, I didn't want to start school. Homeschooling wasn't a thing then, but if it were, I would have been like, homeschool me, Mom. Horses are scary. These weren't scary horses, but anyways, it was so funny. You want to hear the story? It was funny. It was funny. We were 12 and 11. My friend was 11, and she was on Traveler. They had a gray dapple horse, and he was a better horse than the horse I was on. I was on their horse named Smokey, who was not trained as well as Traveler was a registered quarter horse. He was an awesome horse. And Louise's dad used to say, "This is your horse." And I was like, "Thanks, I got my own horse." It wasn't really my horse, but anyways. Yeah, there's still horse property up there. Yeah, it's still all horse property. I think that's why it's so expensive too, because people can have horses on it, and all sorts of animals, chickens and cows, whatever. So yeah, Louise had goats. She had chickens at one time. She had everything, cows. They used to do a rodeo every Sunday, but so yeah. So we were horseback riding in Handsome Dam. So where we rode was where they had the equestrian part of the Olympics in 1984. That's where we used to ride horses in Handsome Dam. And they had they did it up and did the whole equestrian part of the Olympics, the Summer Olympics in 1984 in Handsome Dam. So that's where we used to ride. And so we were going through the river and we were just riding around. It was like 2 days before Christmas. So we were on Christmas break and we went for a ride and we went over there. And so we were in the river, and I forget if it was my horse or her horse. I think it was Traveler, probably. He pooped in the river, right? And so we didn't have anywhere to go or whatever, and we're following the poop, the horse poop floating down the river, right? And our horses were kind of like horses are kind of like competitive, like like race horse. That's why I don't know. That's why racehorses do, so they're really trying to beat each other. And so it ended up my horse was trying to like we were racing down the river following the horse's poop. And then we came to this place where there were trees, and then the side of it must have been the side of the dam. I don't know if it was just it was a place where there was cement, right? And and the trees were, it was like you couldn't go through really, right? So Louise went on her horse to go around, and I was trying to decide, and my horse just went. Smokey just went, and I was like, no, because he slipped on the cement and he fell on my leg. And then I was wet. I was in the river, and my leg hurt. And then I had to get Louise got someone to help, and they helped me. Oh gosh, it hurt. It hurt, and I had to ride my horse out of there. And we went to these people. I remember it was someone I knew from school. It's their house. So there's this road, McBroom. I went down McBroom in the video. So this kid that I knew from school lived on McBroom, and they took me to his house, and then my dad came. My mom was always getting her hair done or something when an accident happened, because my brother had a motorcycle accident, and my mom was getting her hair done. That's when I was really little. So yeah, I broke my leg 2 days before Christmas, 1978. Oh, most of Oklahoma, outside cities of Texas, you can raise chickens, ducks, goats, horses. I just go out here and turn the corner. Like, of course, I can't have any animals in my apartment, but like right out there, there's cows. There's houses like across the way, and then there's this place where I go walk behind the houses, and there's cows back there. Yeah, well, we usually rode ponies, but Smokey wasn't as tall as Traveler. But the thing is like whenever I was like explaining it to people, it was hard to explain. I was like, the horse fell, and it wasn't really like I fell off of the horse, but I did. I mean, of course, I did fall off the horse, but the horse fell, and thankfully, I was in the cold water. I don't remember it exactly hurting at the time that I did it. And so, yeah, I was I remember laying in the hall of the hospital emergency room waiting to get my leg x-rayed. And my mom there with me. And I think she had, my mom been to the emergency room a couple times because I was the youngest of 7. So I think she was talking about being at the emergency room with my brother. Yeah. This was a little while ago. 1978 was a little while ago. But yeah, my brother, my youngest brother, that's my only remaining living brother, he always said like he liked motorcycles better because you control where it goes when it goes, you know. But yeah. A parking space with a tent, and it is $1 million property here. Wow. My brother sold his house for my brother's house in Santa Clarita. I'm getting some messages. kind of annoying, but political messages. But so oh, you had a patient come in and fell off a horse, broke her femur, and landed on a giant mound of fire ants. That's bad. Is it as if it's not bad enough? So you still work in the hospital, Glenn? Are you retired? I need to find some more poems to say. Oh, here's a little poem I wrote about hope. It's from a Bible verse and a Danny Goki song. There's hope in front of me. Hope for a tree. There's hope for a tree. There's hope in front of me. Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but my hope in Jesus is what makes me tick. By my God, I can run and not grow weary. He strengthens me, I must confess. Sometimes I'm a hot mess, but without him, I am a total disaster. Oh, I wanted to say this one. This poem was inspired by a number of things. So when I went to California in, I guess it was in 2018. Was it in 2018? 2015, maybe. I went to the Winchester Mystery House. And I wrote this poem called The Heartbreak Hotel. Of course, inspired by Elvis too. The Eagles, Once Upon a Time, where the Rapunzel's trapped in her tower of fear. So, but the Winchester Mystery House, this lady kept building the house because she thought she would die if she stopped building the house. And she felt guilty because she was the wife of the guy who did the Winchester rifles. So, and that's a good scary movie. I watched it in my Airbnb before it was, yeah. And then right after that, I went in my restroom. It was night, and there was this tree branch scratching on the window, my bathroom window, and it like freaked me out. But anyways, Winchester Mystery House. It's in San Jose, California. But that inspired this poem, and my ex building his house that it's not finished, and I felt like a prisoner. And I started saying like, calling it the big house because he got the big house in the divorce because he built that and that was his obsession and everything, and it's not finished still. And I got the smaller house that we rented out. And I would say the big house, and I was like, oh yeah, that's appropriate. That's what they call prison. So let me say this. That's a strange house, yeah. You do some agency work. But I am done with trauma and all the politics that go on in hospitals. Yeah. Yeah, see, I always wanted to go to it because we'd always go from LA to the Bay Area because my grandparents lived there and my aunts and uncles and cousins. And I'd always see the sign, Winchester Mystery House. I'd never been to it. So that was 2015. I finally went to it. And so, but the movie's kind of creepy too. So let me say this one. Heartbreak Hotel. Leave it to me to see the analogy. I've been through the never finished house, like Cinderella trapped, a prisoner of her own device, Rapunzel in her tower of fear. I stepped through the door to nowhere, now leaving crazy town, Florida. So funny thing where Florida came from is Claire Bear. When she was about 4, my ex's parents are still living in Florida, and we'd go see them. And my parents lived when they were alive in California, Rio Grande, California. So when someone would ask Claire Bear where her grandparents lived, she would say Florida. She'd put them together and say Florida. Now leaving crazy town, Florida, the land of fruits and nuts, the Heartbreak Hotel. They say you can check out anytime you'd like, but you can never leave. Anybody recognize that song? Welcome to the Hotel California. So the devil wanted me to think, but my king held the key to my escape. If he sets you free, you are free indeed. I will no longer follow, just lead. No matter how your heart is grieving, if you keep on believing, the dream that you wish will come true. That's from Cinderella. And with all the nightmares, you will be through. Free, free, I'm free at last. Thank God Almighty, I'm free at last. The older was building crazily because of the spirits of the people killed by Winchester guns. Yeah, that's the way the movie goes. Yeah. She would have like seances and stuff. It was weird. But yeah. Very interesting story. It's a cool house. So I have like 10 more minutes. I'm going to go till 7:30. So, I said I was going to say my favorite poem, and I didn't say it yet, did I? I don't think I did. It's a storm poem. You say that no one cares for you? Well, that's not true, because I do, and God does too. This is in this book. Oh, that I could fix your problem. I'd mend you up. You'd no longer be stuck in that addiction or depression, the trials that come in rapid succession. But what can I do? I cannot fix you. I can't make you believe or even relieve that deep ache in your heart. Just where do I start? Don't do nothing, she yelled at me. Well, what should I do? Scream and shout and run about? Perhaps sit and pout? No, I'll fight a war upon my knees. In quietness and confidence shall be my strength. He keeps my prayers and my tears. Perhaps the overflow makes the rain to water all the pain upon the earth. I'll thank him for this thorn. I'll praise him even when I'm worn, 'cause he carries me through the storm. He walks to me on the tempest sea. The rain brings life back to my dying tree. And one day through the clouds, I'll see the rainbow. Guess I'll put a visit there on my bucket list. Yeah, there's like stairways that go like to nowhere. There's doors that like go to nowhere. And yeah, I can remember reading about it and I still hadn't been there. I was like, I want to go there sometime. I was like, gee, that's like Bobby keeps, he thinks he's going to die if he stops building this house or something. I don't know. He won't finish it. It felt like he just so my ex is a strange person, and I felt like it was a means of control for him. Like he knew I wanted him to finish it. Like finish it for God's. I had a big, like beautiful bathtub, a nice bathroom, but it wasn't tiled in. Like you could see all the drains, and at least it worked. I would use the bathtub, but and it had jets. That's what I wanted. I asked for a because I didn't want to build a house at all. And then, yeah, but I felt like it was a means of control for him because, he knew I wanted to finish it and he wouldn't finish it. And he's a terrible procrastinator. And I'm just like, he's like that lady. He thinks he's going to die if he doesn't keep building something. I don't know. But he really was like on to the next thing. Soccer obsessed. Like he would go through things where he would be obsessed with hunting, and then he would reload his bullets, guns. Then he was obsessed with soccer, and he would play soccer, and all the kids had to play soccer, and they couldn't do anything. I tried to get him into other things. Like the girls like dance or music, try to get him into other things, but he was just like soccer. So they all played soccer, and got to where they could play soccer year round because they play in the summer. They play what did they call it? They would play these there was a league for the summer. I forget what it was called. And then they had indoor in the winter. So I'm like, oh, goodness gracious. Now they're playing soccer year round, on the leagues, at school, middle school, high school, everything. Soccer. And I was just like, okay, he's not obsessed with the house anymore, and he's not going to finish it. It was really annoying. And it wasn't just one thing. It wasn't just that with my marriage. It was just a lonely marriage, actually. Yeah, I didn't want to do it. I did not want to do it. I even said, he even said to him, like they say, I want a house that's all right. Like I'm an impatient person. That's why I said that message is so good for me. And that's why I'm trying to concentrate on just like chill. It's okay, And I'm like, oh, I have to get a job or I have to start driving for Lyft, and it's just like, settle down. I need to do my writing. I need to work on my YouTube. And I want to do something just like, I want to pick at that scab, and that's why that message was so good that I heard today about, Joel Osteen saying, leave it alone. And he talked about too, the parable of the wheat and the tares. He told a couple different Bible stories, and shared the verse about, be still and know that I'm God. But he talked about, there's nothing worse than being lonely in a relationship. Exactly. That's what the Red poem is about. So, where was I? So he talked about the wheat and the tares, and like that the workers go into the field and say to the farmer, like, hey, there's these weeds here. Like, do you want us to pull them up? And he says, no, leave them. When the harvest comes, leave them. Leave it alone. And it's kind of like it's hard for me though. It's hard for me to like wait on God and just pray and just chill. And I feel like I got the same message, you know, it was it was kind of both. It was kind of both from God and from my mom, I feel like, because I was watching this thing about Paul McCartney and the Beatles, and he was talking about how he wrote "Let It Be." You know how he says, "I wake up to the sound of music. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be." Well, I used to be like, "Oh, I didn't know that the Beatles were Catholic." I thought he was talking about Mother Mary, Mary, the Mother of God. And but then it wasn't that. It was his mother had passed away 10 years before. There's a little video. There's a little movie about it. Let me show you. They did a little short of it. But anyways, with the thing with my kids, I felt like, I often think about like what with my mom didn't come to me in a dream, but I kind of felt like that's what she would say. Like if she was living, I was like, if my mom was living, what would she say about the situation with my kids not talking to me? And that's what came to my mind. It's like she would be, just let it be. It's gonna be okay. But it's really, really hard for me. So y'all need to pray for me. There's that short. So, yeah. So, and then this Joel Osteen message is the same. Leave it alone. Let it be. These are my hands. Stop. It's just like it's hard. It's hard for Red to keep her mouth shut. So, yeah. Well, I'm almost at 2 hours, so I'm going to pray for y'all and let you go. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Judy. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's just, it's mainly my oldest and my youngest. 2 girls, but 3 in the middle are speaking to me, thankfully. Sometimes not as often as I'd like, Sometimes they don't answer my text message. They don't answer like that, my text messages. Thank you. Thank you, Glenn. Thank you so much. I'm going to pray for y'all. Dear Lord, I pray that you bless Glenn and be with him and his family. Thank you for his support of my channel and Lindy's channel. And thank you for him. I thank you for Judy. I pray that you bless her and be with her and her family. I pray for Bren and that you would strengthen her as she cares for her mother, keep her mother well, and bless her partner and her family. And and go back through here. I pray you bless Betty and be with her and her family. Keep everybody safe as they travel, Lord. Help us to look to you and for guidance in our lives, Lord. Help us with our finances and everything, Lord. And we just thank you that we can look to you for guidance, Lord, and help in our lives and for the comfort you are and encouragement. And I pray for Judy, Linda. I pray you bless Linda and her family. Keep her safe as she travels. Brenda Berner, I pray you be with her as she travels. Keep her safe. Thank you for her support of my channel. Please bless AS Blind Maid Productions, Alfonso. Please bless him and his family. Thank you for him being here. Going back. I think I might have. Please bless Elsa. Be with her, Lord, and bless her and her fur babies and her children. Thank you for her, Lord. I think that might be everybody. And I pray all these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for praying for me. Thank you. All right, I'm going to go. Don't say that no one cares for you because I do and God does too. Don't forget to pray for Red because Red is praying for you. Good night. I'll see you Friday. Bye.